Hello logging railroaders! Last year I scratch built a second steam locomotive for my Romanian-style forestry railroad, which is battery-powered. This allows me to run trains beside my live steam loco. The new loco is based on an LGB model. Today we'll follow Loco 763237 with a log train inspired by the forestry railroad of Moldovita in Romania. Right behind the loco is a short car for firewood. Such additional tenders were common as the locos will need more wood than coal. The end of the train features a short baggage car and one pair of log trucks is loaded with hay for horses used to haul logs in the woods. The railroad starts in a wide valley with minor grades. In regular spacing, our train passes small sidings, some of them holding loaded block carts. We'll come back to them later. It's time for a short stop next to a pond. As there were no water tanks installed along the railroad, the locals are using ejector pumps to take water from any creek, pond or puddle. This way the loco can take water from any sources along the railroad. We finally made it to the upper backward station. After unloading the hay for the horses, it's time for some switching. The baggage car and the tender car are dropped at the siding. As you can see, shunting by ear is also common on such railroads. From the main line down in the valley, there are several loading spurs reaching into the woods. Some of them are featuring very steep grades. The small Krauss loco has hard work to push the empty cars up the hill. No changes to do so on loaded cars. Once the empty cars are delivered to the log landings, loco returns to the upper station and waits for the return trip. But how will the loaded cars return down to the valley? That's very simple, by gravity. The steady downhill track is used to let the loaded trains rolling down by themselves. But don't worry, to avoid runaways the trains are controlled by brakemen, riding on the trains to set the brakes individually on each car of the train. This is one of the most dangerous jobs on the logging railroad. Once the gravity train have reached the main line, they are parked at the siding along the line for later pickup by any other log train. This is how the loaded cars at the beginning of the film has reached the sidings. To prepare the train for the return trip, the Krauss loco 763-237 is set to the rear of the train, pushing the cars slowly out of the siding into the next downgrade section. The loco is not coupled to the train, so once the loaded log cars are grabbed by gravity, they will roll downhill without help of the steam loco. You may wonder why. In case of a derail or runaway train, the loco will stay safe. She is the most important piece of any logging railroad operation. This procedure was common on some other logging railroads as well. Once the main line reached the valley bottom, she is bypassing the log train in the siding and will now pull the train the last miles to the sawmill. Once at the main station, the train gets cut in half and the cars are shunted to several spur tracks. 2 log cars are stored for later unloading, while the other 2 cars are pushed to the unloading track directly. For today, the snow loco has done a good job and will now take a rest at the engine track. More about my Kitbash steam loco is shown on my blog at waldbahner.de. I will leave links down in the description. You will find some more details about the logging railroads as well as actual projects on my blog, usually on a weekly basis. I hope you enjoyed the video, have fun in our hobby, and see you next time.